I think our generation can be lazy in a way, but but personally, I do think that I'm lazy. I would describe myself as lazy. I was born lazy. I remember when I was like in middle school, high school. I used to tell my dad that I wasn't born to be a blue collar worker. I'm like, I'm in a blue collar family. My daddy literally wear a blue collar shirt. He got the little just patch, real life looking mechanic type dude. But I'm just like, I'm not built for this. I'm not meant to be I need to be chilling.
I need to be chilling. I need for my family. Why was not born into a multi-million-dollar family?
Right. So, I feel like I got to do what I got to do to be able to like live in my laziness and not, I don't want to be a bum. So money is the difference between, if you're lazy, having money and not having money is the difference between being a bum. So I'm trying to be lazy, but not a bum. I got to find the money somewhere.
You got to find that happy medium. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of In Real Life, and I have my god sister here. Sometimes y'all see her on my story and stuff. On my story though, not necessarily on my feed, but we basically grew up together, but we didn't get close until we were like 16. So 15, 16, because Alexis, her older sister, started driving, and then we were like, oh, you actually kind of cool. Because our dads would do like this weird thing where we would only see each other like once a year, maybe twice a year. So like we would always have to reintroduce ourselves and reacquaint ourselves every time. And then once we got used to each other, it's like, oh, not gonna see you till next year. So when her sister got her license, we got our freedom papers and we decided to get to know each other. And yeah, so it's been my dog all my life.
Facts.
So I wanted to talk to y'all about Kenya. Her name is Kenyetta. I call her Kenya, so that's what we're gonna go by. Kenya became a homeowner at 24. Y'all know this is Money March, so I'm just talking to like money savvy people, millennials specifically, because y'all know my show is dedicated to millennials. So and the funny part about it is millennials are becoming like the old generation now, and I just don't like it. I don't like that. Like, can I be Gen Z or something? Can I be hip with the kids? So I just want to talk about that in detail. And we could start with my number one question. I feel like we never talked about this personally, but we'll talk about it now. How did you get interested in money? Because I feel like when we were younger, we were both like very future oriented. And what I mean by that is we used to look up like majors for college together when we were younger and like do kind of like future-esque things together, but we never really fully kind of talked about money particularly together. So how did you first get interested in that?
I think like having the parents I had probably had a big role in that. So, my dad is like a very money kind of guy, always talking about money. He never really had a lot of money, but he talks about money enough. Enough that I feel like it rubbed off on me. And then just like watching my parents' different spending styles and kind of like watching the world, I guess it kind of made me interested in the whole thing. But like as far as me like really taking it on as a real interest, I feel like that didn't really happen until I was in college at some point. I think I kind of was just getting irritated with working, like in school. I'm like, I feel like I was like, I'm ready to retire. I hadn't even started working yet. I was still in college. Like, I just don't like this. I need some money because if I had money, I wouldn't have to do this. I think that kind of made me interested. And I'm like, what can I do to make some money so that I can kind of do whatever I want? And I think that's kind of what got me into it.
Okay, so I know we talked about that as, just regular conversation. Like, you was just like, I'm ready. Before we graduated, we were talking about like, yeah, we ready to retire. Haven't even gotten to the workforce yet. My mom was like, dang, y'all got a long way to go. We I think our generation is just, I wouldn't, a lot of the older generations call us lazy, but I feel like maybe we're lazy in the state of like, we don't want to be restricted or bound to a 9 to 5 for 30 years, which I don't even think the world is not even going in that route anymore. Like people having one job for 30 years is like rare now. So for us, I guess it's lazy in the aspect of we don't want to work in the future, but I feel like we are hard workers in the fact that like we'll work now
Mhm.
and figure out things now since we're the information generation, so we'll figure it out now so that later we can just be on the beach somewhere taking vacation.
Yeah. I think our generation can be lazy in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but um, but personally, I do think that I'm lazy. I would describe myself as lazy. I was born lazy. I remember when I was like in middle school, high school. I used to tell my dad that I wasn't born to be a blue collar worker. I'm like, I'm in a blue collar family. My daddy literally wear a blue collar shirt. He got the little just patch, real life looking mechanic type dude. But I'm just like, I'm not built for this. I'm not meant to be just. I need to be chilling.
I need to be chilling. I need for my family. Why was not born into a multi-million-dollar family?
Right. So, I feel like I got to do what I got to do to be able to like live in my laziness and not. I see. I don't want to be a bum.
Mm-hmm.
So money is the difference between if you're lazy, having money and not having money is the difference between being a bum.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to be lazy, but not a bum. I got to find the money somewhere.
You gotta find that happy medium. All right, so what I wanted to specifically talk about in this episode was, okay, Kenya is a homeowner. She became one at 24. We will talk about her real estate journey with her sister because she has a real estate company or business with her sister. Whole LLC, y'all, like it's official. But with this one, Kenya paid off her car. I don't know the span of time, but I remember her getting a new car before I moved from Michigan, and she paid it off. I don't know if it's recently now, but it's paid off now. So I wanted to ask you, how did you pay off your car so fast? What was your plan?
So I got that car in October 2019, and I paid it off this year. This year in October, or I'm sorry, 2020 in October. So it was like almost exactly 2 years. Um,
Wait,
so
October 2018 or 2019? Because October 2019, I was living here.
sorry, October. Wait a minute. October 2018.
Okay.
It was right before I bought the house because I remember it like disrupted my house buying process. So that was kind of irritating. So I didn't want to buy a car. I was like happy driving Little Baby Blue, seeing Little Baby
Blue, y'all.
Happy with her. She was nice and old and small. She got the job done, but then the transmission was wilding and I had to get a car. So I bought the car, and at first I was just chilling with it, just paying the monthly payment that they gave me. Mm-hmm. And then I got the house, I was paying that, and I just was like trying to like find normalcy. But then after like a year went by, I was starting to feel like kind of stressed. Mm-hmm. Like I got this mortgage that's in my own name. I got this car that's in my name, and I have a decent job. I just was feeling like if something were to happen and I have all these bills, I won't be like right now, if something happened to me, I could go to McDonald's and get a job and I could afford my lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't do that when I had all these big bills, and I didn't like that. So I was like, let me get rid of this debt. So I started like being super aggressive about paying it down. So I was budgeting and like putting all my extra money towards paying the car off. And I had to get like super tight. I don't know if you remember when Alexis went on a cruise with like the rest of my family, and they kept asking me, do you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, I want to go, but I didn't go because I was like throwing all the money I had onto the car. And then the pandemic rolled around. We got our little stimmies, threw that at the car. And then I got laid off in April. And unemployment was coming in, and I was able to put my mortgage into forbearance. So I used all the extra money that I wasn't putting on my mortgage, and I was just throwing it at my car. Mm. So that's how it accelerated that process. But I had already had a plan to pay it off by the end of 2020, pre-pandemic. Mm. I had an Excel sheet like calculating how much I need to save per month to get there. Mm-hmm. So I was already on track to do that, but then the pandemic rolled around and like sped that up a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I got it done a few months early because of that. And yeah, I've been super happy about it because the stress level has come down.
Yeah, it's great. Like people always talk. They always ask about Baby Z. So we really for real nickname our cars. But Baby Z, like they always ask like, how's Baby Z? And I'm like, Baby Z been in there. We've been there. She turned 10 this year. Baby Z is old officially. But I'm not in a rush to like get a new car as much as I would like my Jeep because I've been talking about it for years now. But it's like Baby Z, I'm riding her to the wheels fall off, and then I'm gonna throw them bugs back on and keep rolling because that's an extra bill that like I don't have to think about that
I
other
said, it's a
people
bill.
actually have. Like people have car notes, and I just be like, oh, I just got gas and like random, because Baby Z is a little bit older, and once I moved down here, the driving down here is completely different from Michigan. Like a mile here, I'm sure is not the same mile in Detroit. I'm just I'm convinced, y'all. Like, and I drive so much down here, so that's why Baby Z kind of has a few issues. But for the most part, to be 10 years old, she's a pretty good car. So yeah, that is something that's like nobody wants a car note for real, and
Nobody wants a car note, but everybody wants the car. And that's cool, but like I would rather not have the car note. If I was in a position where I had a lot of disposable income, I'm kind of like a car person too. Like I would splurge on a car if I could, but I don't feel like I can afford it.
mm-hmm.
It's based on like what I think I can afford.
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing. It's like either you're like a car person or either you a house person. I feel like some people are both, like they just gotta have it all. But I know a family that like the mom and dad, they drive Teslas. And they also live in Buckhead too. But their house is not like this super huge house. Like it's this ranch style older house. It's a lot of ranch style older houses in Buckhead. But they're really like pretty though. It's like that old, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
feel to it. So honestly, I don't know. They still might be paying a grip for that little house, but you wouldn't think it was like you would think Buckhead. You would think like, oh, this mansion and they got Teslas, but they decided to invest more in a car because it's like Teslas are energy efficient cars. So I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give people who are planning, like, who are tired of having bills and they want to fast track, like, paying off a big bill?
I think the first thing you definitely need to do is to budget. So you need to figure out like how much money you have coming in every month and how much money you have going out every month. Because they need to be aligned. You don't need to be spending more than you're making, first of all. But even if once you get that together, just knowing exactly how much you're putting out every month is helpful because if you know you got your major bills, your housing bill, your gas, whatever, stuff that you need to spend money on, but all that stuff that you spend money on that you don't necessarily need to, you're not like conscious of where it's going. It just kind of leaves. So if you become conscious of it, then you can decide like, okay, I want to actually put that money towards this bill and I want to pay that down. So you got to like figure out where your money is. And I think budgeting is a good way to do that and like actually write it down in an Excel sheet or like old school in a piece of paper, whatever. But like budgeting and figuring out actually where your money is and then deciding what you want to do with it. Like you make the decision on what to do with it, not it just goes away and you're like, where'd my money go? So yeah, doing that and then throwing it all at your goal, keeping your goal in mind is important. I think I was talking to my sister about this the other day. Like knowing the reason why you're saving and it being a good reason to you is important because if you don't have a good reason, you're just gonna feel like you're sacrificing for nothing, and that's not fun. So you got to figure out like why you're doing this, and it has to be important to you. Otherwise, you're not. It's gonna be harder than it has to be.
Okay, so transitioning slightly into the whole situation with you and Alexis. How we'll do the beginning of this and then we'll continue it in the next episode. Who came up with the idea to do real estate? That's what I want to know.
I don't don't know who came up with it first. We both always talking about money. So she is a year and a half older than me, but like 2 grade levels above me. So when I was in college, I got 2 years to go. She was already done. So I'm out of school. I'm sorry, I'm in school. She's out of school. And when I came home for one Christmas break, she was like, let's go to this real estate seminar. So, people probably hear like on the radio, they'll have like commercials. Such and such is coming to town, and in your area, you can make money learning real estate. Come down and blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of one of those seminars. And I think it was in the Renaissance. So we went down there, and it was like a 2-3 day thing, 2 day thing, I think. Friday and Saturday. And actually, I think it was 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was super tired because I had finals and whatever. We went to this seminar, and this is like an all-day thing, like 8 hours a day. And we're sitting there, and the guys up there being all inspirational, and you can change your life, and my daughters live for freedom, and da da da. And we were getting inspired by that. But then by the end, we realized they're trying to sell us this big package that we could not afford to buy, even if we wanted to. But it got our wheels turning, and it did give us a starting point of information, and we kind of went to Google from there and figured it out. And we're like, I think that we want to actually do this and not just keep talking about it, because people talk all day and they don't actually do anything, and then you don't make any money. So we just decided, like, okay, let's jump in. I feel like it was a mutual thing.
Okay, because I never knew that story. It was just like 1 minute y'all was doing real estate, and I was like, okay, sure, I'm here for it. I'm here for y'all. Look, everybody eat, okay? How many properties do y'all have together?
We have one together that's in our LLC's name. She has one on her own. I have one on my own.
How many properties do y'all plan on having?
We don't have any goals specifically about like how big we want our portfolio to be. At the moment, our goals are way more short term. So we want to flip a house soon, and we've been so close to doing that a couple times, but like, I swear the devil don't want to let us win. We're gonna get it one day though. But that's a short term goal we have, and then we would like to build our rental portfolio, but that's long term money. But we want to make some like faster money at the moment.
Yeah. So, Kenya has started a YouTube, y'all, and which actually surprised me a lot, because she's like the introverted one. She's extroverted once you get to know her, but she's more so like she's not a public person like how I'm more active on social media. She be chilling. She the lurker. I'm like the lurker and the active one. So she started a YouTube, very informative YouTube about money. So you want to talk about that a little bit, and how you decided like, okay, I'm gonna just do it.
So you're like, it's kind of weird. It is weird. It's weird for me too. So I feel like personal finance is kind of like a hobby of mine. So like when I'm watching YouTube videos for fun, or when I'm like, scrolling on the internet for fun, reading articles for fun, it's a lot of times personal finance stuff. So I know a lot about a lot of these things, listen to podcasts about a lot of these things. And then it will come out in my conversations with people naturally. And I'll often have my peers asking me like my opinion on something or whatever, because I happen to have like this knowledge in this area. And I was like, okay, this is something I know a lot about. This is something I enjoy talking about, because I be talking about it in my regular life with people. Why not like put this on a platform and see what happens with it? So I decided I was going to try it out and see how I like it. It's definitely weird because, like you said, I'm definitely introverted, and I'm trying to come through on the camera, but it's kind of tough. Like, kind of putting a script out there and putting information out there is different than just talking. So yeah, but it's been interesting. I don't mind it. I actually kind of like it. It's challenging. I like to be challenged. I feel like I haven't really been challenged for real in a while, so it's cool.
Yeah, I feel like it's up your lane in as far as like information wise. Like you like to get information, you like research, you like facts. Because believe it or not, y'all, she is a chemist. graduated from Michigan State with a chemistry degree. So that's just like how her brain works. But it's weird on the aspect of like you actually putting yourself out there, because it's easy to talk to your friends and family about, you know, stuff that you're interested in, but when you get in front of the camera, everybody don't light up and be like,
Yeah.
some people just like, I don't want to, I want to be seen. But I'm glad that you stepped outside your comfort zone and did that, because you know people learning stuff, and you know I'll be watching my sis like I'm proud of her.
I appreciate the view, the like, the subscribe.
Yes, I need to share some more. I definitely need to watch this budgeting one. Like I told you personally, I don't feel like I am the worst person with money. I have random times where I just splurge and I feel bad about it, but it's not often that I splurge. So that's the thing. Like I be beating myself up, like Shabbat, you know. Then I'll be like, you know what? Life is short. It's gonna get paid, and that's what it is. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that one. And I want to make sure that y'all go. If you are one of those people who just not good with money at all, like me, I'm okay. I feel like I'm good with money, but I can be better. Um, if you just not, I'd suggest you go and check out her videos. But
Yeah, I would say if you're not good with money, you can check them out, and it will definitely give you some informative information. But even if you're good with money, I think it's good information. I think a lot of the information I want to put out there is stuff that I happen to know about, but it's not like super common knowledge, even if you are good with money. So as I build, like a content base, more videos, I'll definitely be putting information out there that's like a little bit more niche, but it's good information to know. It will help you if you decide you want to use it.
yeah. So, is there anything else that you have to say for the people?
In regard to just in general.
In general, closing thoughts. Like teachers be. Closing
Thoughts.
thoughts.
I kind of went on a little. I was telling you about this when I was editing. If I was wondering, was I going to put in a section at the end where I kind of went on a little rant. And I ended up putting it in there. So if you want to go check that video out.
Okay, I can't wait.
My most recent one, I think it's called "How to Spend Your Tax Return Wisely." But I was kind of going off a little bit about being disciplined about your money, because money it's a tool, and it's kind of, this is like maybe not the greatest analogy, but it's almost kind of like guns. Like guns are a tool, and they say like guns don't kill people, people kill people. But it's also something that people use to hunt or whatever. It's a tool. It's up to you. And people can let their money. A lot of people let their money ruin them. And when I say money, I don't mean you have a whole lot of money. You might not really have any money at all, and yet your money is ruining you. You might have all the money in the world, and your money is ruining you. Like, you got to learn how to use the tools, because if you don't know how to use it, you're just going to hurt yourself. So I feel like, taking your personal finance into your own hands and learning how to use these tools will only help you, elevate you, bring your stress down.
Bring your stress down, child. Bring it down. It will do that. That's good information. Well, that's all I got for y'all, the people. Make sure y'all go check out her YouTube. I am definitely getting more interested in money because, like you said, I want to long term. I just want to be chilling on the beach. Honestly, like I really don't want to be working when I get older. Honestly, I probably don't even want to be working past 35. If we just gonna keep it real, like, yeah, it ain't cute. It's not that fun. So
it's ghetto, really, like
ghetto.
Actually. So
Real ghetto. So just being informed about money specifically. I feel like a lot of us, like I told you before, we passed that midway mark now. So we got to make these grown up decisions. But that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for watching. I think I'm continuing Money March. I don't know the order, y'all. Y'all know me. But continue to watch for next week. I'll see y'all later. Peace.